Hello everyone. A few things I would like to discuss concerning Vedic astrology. And first thing is the retrograde planets. We now have Venus and Mercury going retrograde. What does that mean? Often we can go forward in life, but when there are still so many things that are in the past that we didn't use, or we didn't notice, or we didn't take a proper look at them, or we didn't make the best use of them, then there is maybe no need to move forward if we can go to the past and find all these treasures that we overlooked, that we can use and we can learn from them and use them in our projects. Like, for example, while Mercury and Venus are retrograde, I've been looking through a lot of my old pictures and I thought, so many great pictures I never shared, I never used anywhere, of my yoga classes, of my yoga teacher trainings, that I want to share now. I can go and do a new training and share new pictures, for example, but I can also go take another look at the past training and share those pictures and use all that potential that was not used. In my life, there is a lot of unused potential, and it's not like I mean it as a problem. I mean it as a wise approach, because I'm ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet that wants to use as little energy as possible so that it can preserve the survival of physical body. The Sun, who is the soul, wants to shine all his light in, even if it's just in one moment. He is gonna burn all his energy, but he will shine to his highest potential. My approach, as Saturn rules me in Libra in the 9th house, my approach is like, why bother shining to your full potential if you know you've got it? Why would I do all that effort if I know I have all that potential? So I don't need to show it. And I do have 4 planets in Leo, so I like to show it. But again, Saturn is still more powerful influence, and Saturn tells me, if you already feel inner bliss lying on the couch, why would you get up from the couch, do all that effort, shine to your fullest potential? For what? For what purpose? It's gonna only cost you energy. It's not gonna add anything to your inner state because you already feel inner bliss, and it's not gonna subtract anything from your inner state, because in the end you are the bliss. I know it might be not the most productive way to think, but this is like, if this is the planet that rules you, it's so hard to change it, because I think if you know you've got the full potential, you will not need to shine to your full potential. You know what I mean? You can just shine for 1% and it's gonna be enough. Like, I have to really, like, my best pictures I never share, not because I don't want to shine. I just, even my worst pictures are already good to share, So yeah, I discovered this week that my best pictures I have never shared. Yeah, I just don't want people to get an impression that they only need to get, to be certain way or have certain things to be able to be okay with themselves and with their lives. I like to share simple things which bring simple joys, because that's what my life is really about. If I ever go to a hotel with my sister in California for a couple of days and I have some picture in luxurious setting, well, that's not my life, that's not what I care about, that's not what interests me, it's not my value, it's not what makes me enjoy life. So why would I share it, just to make people feel inadequate, like they have to chase the same things to be successful or something. So that's what I mean. I like nature, I like simplicity. And in spiritual teachings, a spiritual teacher should have simple life. That's one of the attributes of a truly spiritual good teacher. If someone has a very complicated life, he will never have a peace of mind, because the more you have, the more possessions, the more you need to take care of them, the more you have the worries that you can lose them, and you are identified with all those possessions, and you are restless how to take care and manage all of that. So then you cannot focus on spiritual depth. Like in my house for quite many years, nothing changed. Only more and more plants come to my house. But for the rest, I don't really care, to change anything, because I am not getting any joy out of it, and I am not I have my basic comforts that I need, and I don't want to waste things, like get new pillows for the couch while the old ones are still good. I don't like the waste. So I like simple life. What I don't use, what I don't need, I throw away. And what I use is always here. My cats break things all the time, so I get less and less things. That's very good. My achievement is not having anything, just being simple, having simple life. Because then my mind is at peace, I have clear mind, clarity of thoughts, I am free. you know? Another topic I would like to talk with you about is sun and moon connection between partners. How important that is. I had experience of communication with some guys or men who didn't have sun or moon connection with me, and before looking at their charts, I thought, what a great connection, so much inspiration. Like talking to the guy who has a lot of planets in Libra and Aries, and I have Saturn and Libra in the ninth house. So talking to him, I get to this extra inspiring insights, like 4 times as much as normal. I was writing them all down, and I thought, wow, what a good connection. But quite quickly, I never spent more than 3 days. Quite quickly, I started recognizing that this is very external. When you have sun and moon connection, the connection is internal. The consciousness has internal connection. Either sun opposite the moon, or sun on the moon, or moon on the sun, or sun opposite the sun, or moon opposite the moon, or sun on the sun, or moon on the moon, or moon on the sun, or sun on the moon. You understand? So any of those combinations. But if you don't have it, you will not have soul connection and inner consciousness connection. You will only have external touching points that are outside, out there in the world, but not internally in the consciousness, not in the mind, not in the soul. That's why, people who don't have sun and moon connection, unfortunately, it's just, I can say it's just karmic hook, just karmic patterns holding them there together. That's as far as I have observed, but not the true connection. I'm sorry if that's the case for you. It's just my observation. That's what I found. We don't always want to look at the truth, so take your time. Well, also, if a person has Venus in the 6th house, I discovered that or Venus rules the 6th house, then if you becomes the goal of such a man, you get a lot of problems, obstacles, conflicts. And he may have a, carefree life, but you are gonna get a lot of problems because you become his Venus and you're in the 6th house for him. And it's already been twice in my life that I had a guy who had Venus in the 6th house, and I always had a lot of problems when I had relationship with him. Always, all the time, so many problems. As soon as the relationship stopped, my life was really without problems. So, and then I met another guy. Within a few days I was talking to him, and our conversation started with the problems, with discussing how many problems I had. And I was confused and puzzled, like, that's not what I would normally start any conversation, and I'm not looking so negatively at any situation normally. Then I asked his chart, his date of birth, and I saw Venus in the 6th house. Okay, so now I know why he attracted this situation, that his girl would come with problems towards him, So also something to keep in mind. Another question I would like to discuss is the tarot cards and Vedic astrology as believed and not should be practiced according to Orthodox Church, right? But why? Why does he say it? Because that's like questioning God. And God doesn't like when we question him, when we doubt him, when we test him. God doesn't like to be tested, and we should never test God. But using tarot cards, we are not gonna test God. We are gonna allow God to give us a message. That's why when I use tarot cards, I always say the prayer to Jesus, and he protects the cards, that only God talks through the cards, not any other force. So no one can deceive me, no one can give me fake, false message that is not true. And the same with astrology. We use astrology to allow God to give us a message. And as a Vedic astrologer, I can look at the chart of a person, and it's an access to secret knowledge, to hidden knowledge that takes people 20 years of their lives to figure that out, that person doesn't work for them. As a Vedic astrologer, if you understand what you're looking at, if the planets can let you know certain secret things, which they do for me, I look at the chart and I think, no. And I don't even mention it, I don't even explain it to the, guys or men. With friends, I accept them as they are. But if it's personal relationship, it's either gonna lift you up to higher level, or it's gonna constantly push you down to lower level. So it's very important for me that I don't get constantly pushed to lower level than I would be on my own. So I only need such person whose chart is gonna be better than my chart. Then I can be, or his planets would work in such a way that would help my planets, not push them down, not make them weak, not create conflict or war. Because if I have Saturn in Libra and the person has Sun and Mars in Aries, That's a lot of war. And then, yeah, it's exalted sun, so you would think it's good. Mars and Aries, very strong. Together, the Mars is combust, probably. Then, Saturn, which I have in Libra, is an enemy to the Sun and is an enemy to the Mars. So, the conversation with the person ended up having a war about not having to give a response in message quickly enough. And in the end, he told me, I am giving you so much and I get nothing back. And I said to him, giving is not the same as having a war about defending your right that you don't have to give. So you can better give than prove to me that you have the right to not have to give, you know? So even exalted sun doesn't work, you know? When he also had Saturn and Libra, by the way. So his way of giving was having the war about not giving. So this is how even the strongest planets can work. His exalted Saturn, exalted Sun, Mars in Aries ended up just being a war about not having to give what the man should give is attention, you know, presence in the communication, being here, responding without making me wait for a long time for every little response, you know. So this is how it works. So when I may look at the chart and think, wow, all planets are exalted or in the best signs. Turns out how it actually works, it depends on ascendant lord. If the strength of ascendant lord is not good, then these planets work to disadvantage. And like exalted Saturn, exalted Sun, almost exalted Mars, you know, or very strong Mars, and then totally didn't work. It totally didn't work with each other, all these planets. Even without me, it wouldn't work for the person himself. So, Vedic astrology is really the secret knowledge. And that's how I can ask God and higher power to please give me the knowledge, the information, the sign about what I need to know, what I don't know, but that's gonna be very important for making the right decision, the right choice. And you may say there is no right choice, no wrong choice. Yes, I used to say it too, but still, there is the right choice, which is a healthy choice, and there is the wrong choice or decision, which is unhealthy. And for me, the level of evolutionary development of a person is seen from whether or not the person makes a healthy choice, or does a person make a choice that is not healthy and they think they have no other choice. Easier said than done. But for example, if you already, before entering any kind of relationship, you already could know that there are a lot of unhealthy tendencies you will have to deal with, and you still make the choice to enter the relationship, even with your family members, then you choose unhealthy choice. You make unhealthy decision. Don't look if it's even family members. All you need to know is your values. They need to be very clear. Do you want person who has such values in your life or not? It doesn't matter if it's family member or not. Don't look at that. That's another karmic hook, another karmic pattern that's gonna keep you and suck the energy out of you because you think it's your family member, so you owe them something. No. All you need to know is just a person. Does the person have good values that match your values, life values? Does the person have right boundaries? You know, like Saturn in Aries, the boundaries would dissolve. Yeah. In Scorpio, Saturn and Scorpio, the boundaries would dissolve. It's a water sign. You cannot make boundary on the water. So there would be no boundaries. How scary is that for the person? Because Saturn rules our psychological complexes. So the person wouldn't be able to understand, where is the boundary? Where, if someone thinks I'm crazy, where is the boundary? Is that me or is that him? Maybe it has nothing to do with me, and it relates only to the person who thinks that. Or maybe I have to take it personally or not. So Saturn in Scorpio wouldn't know. For example, that's just the feeling I get. It's not the absolute truth. Maybe you are a scientific astrologer, you have other view, but I just share what I know, what I intuitively know. I don't study technical stuff, and I don't think I will. So I just like the insights that are from simple planetary positions that indicate already we can see very deep issue even from simple planetary position, without going into any other charts with all the 60 charts, and without calculating every degree and every aspect. So, for example, if ascendant lord is weak and person has exalted Venus, also what I notice is that his enjoyment of life will be with things that are not truly supposed to be the enjoyment of life, like luxury or drinking or using drugs even, and exalted Venus with a strong ascendant lord, the person would enjoy nature, really beautiful nature places. And if it's the person functions on lower evolutionary level, he's gonna enjoy cocktails and luxurious things and all people made things, not nature. So that's another thing I noticed, and I think this is it for now. I have a lot more to talk about, but it's totally different topic.